The biggest pain in the ass with this condition is all of these frays that come up on my fingertips, and so I try to handle them all the time. I've been asked if I have dermatillomania or if I at least find this satisfying, and the answer is yes. Most of the time I find it satisfying. You'd think the most annoying part of this condition would be like the big shaving that takes a long time, or all the moisturizing, or the constant exfoliation, but no, it is these fingertips, these little frays. They catch on everything. I can't run my fingers through my hair. Reaching into a pocket, reaching into my purse is all painful and annoying. Getting dressed, getting undressed. I mean, it just drives me absolutely nuts because the skin will start to fray up and it will catch on everything. And I do tend to hyperfixate on my hands. I don't know that I have dermatillomania necessarily, but I definitely fixate on my hands all the time. Every single day you'll catch me just studying my fingers and pulling the little skins off. And if I'm really distracted or not paying attention, I'll be biting at them, and it can actually get quite painful because I'll just keep ripping and tearing at them. And so as part of managing both my fixation with my hands and the condition itself, I tend to come in and work on my fingers all the time. I do this fingertip top clipping every couple of days, every few days at least. I did it recently and I didn't even share because, it can kind of be a boring type of video, but it's got to be done. And it really does help me not gnaw at my fingers and not be picking at them all the time. In addition to all these little frays that come around all over the top, I also need to sand down my fingertips because they get thick, and I notice the thickness first on my fingertips before I notice it anywhere else on my hand. And it can just be very annoying to not have the sensation, to not really be able to feel the skin pushing up against my fingernails. And so what I do is I come in with a rotary nail file and I sand the skin down just like this. Someone recently recommended to use a diamond tip instead of the sandpaper that I was using, the sandpaper tips that I was using. And I really appreciate the suggestions. Keep them coming because this is kind of a new world to me, using this type of tool on my fingertips. I've only been doing it for like maybe a year, and I've just kind of used what came with the tool, and the metal bits were useless. So the sandpaper tips did a better job, but I have to say this diamond bit did an even better job. It took slightly longer, but it didn't get nearly as hot. So I was able to kind of focus on the details and get everything done. The only complaint I have about it is that if I'm not careful, it will easily skip up and destroy my nail. So I have to be really careful not to just ruin my nails. However, you can see by how long my cuticles are that these really do need to be redone. And so I didn't mind if I dinged them up a little bit on the sides. They were already kind of ruined anyway, and my fingertips were all banged up because I've been out in the garden, and that's going to continue as the gardening and season goes on, and as I'm working out in the orchard and on the property a lot more with the nice weather. I'm going to have to do this type of maintenance all the time, so I don't know if I'll always share, but I will talk about it every now and then. I came in at the very end and cleaned up my fingertips a little bit more, just took off a little bit of that thickness, not just around the edges, but around the pads as well for my own comfort. And this is what it looked like before, pretty cracky and crusty, and here's what they look like now, nice and smooth and a lot more comfortable. Thanks for watching.